보신 아미분들이나 보시는 분들은 아마 새해가 지났을 거예요. 새해 복 많이 받으시고 작년 정말 많이 고생하셨으니까 올해는 부지 않고 건강만 하시고 좋은 날만 가득했으면 좋겠습니다. 그리고 V 또한 저희 방탄 앨범으로 멋있게 돌아올 예정이니까 그때까지 조금만 참고 기다려주시면 감사하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
Hey guys! Kim Taehyung, known to the world as V, has once again reminded everyone why his presence goes far beyond music, visuals, or global fame. In a recent interview teaser that has already sparked deep emotional reactions, Taehyung expressed himself with striking generosity, pouring out his heart with a sincerity that feels rare in today's fast-paced, carefully curated world. There was no hesitation in his words, no emotional restraint. Instead, what we witnessed was a man who chose honesty over polish, vulnerability over distance, and love over fear. Taehyung spoke about love not as a concept meant to impress, but as a lived experience, something that flows naturally from his heart when he allows himself to feel fully. The way he shared his thoughts made it clear that love, to him, is not something to ration or control. It is something to give freely, even if it leaves you exposed, even if it makes you vulnerable, even if it risks misunderstanding. This philosophy alone speaks volumes about the depth of his emotional world. Throughout his career, Taehyung has often been described as soulful, artistic, and emotionally intuitive. But in this interview, those qualities were no longer just impressions formed through music or performance. They were spoken directly, in his own words, without filters. He reflected on how love shapes the way he sees people, art, and life itself. For Taehyung, love is not limited to romance. It is present in friendship, in creativity, in shared moments, and in quiet understanding. What stood out most was how comfortable he seemed being emotionally open. There was no attempt to appear invincible or untouchable. Instead, Taehyung acknowledged that loving deeply means accepting pain as part of the process. He did not speak of love as something always beautiful or easy, but as something honest, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes confusing, yet always worth embracing. That perspective resonated strongly with fans, many of whom feel seen and understood through his words. As someone who entered the spotlight at a young age and grew up under constant public attention, Taehyung has experienced both immense love and intense pressure. Those experiences seem to have shaped his belief that love should never be half-hearted. In a world that often encourages emotional distance as a form of self-protection, he chooses the opposite. He chooses to feel fully, even if it means getting hurt. And in doing so, he challenges the idea that vulnerability is weakness. The upcoming full interview, set to be released tomorrow on YouTube, is highly anticipated for this very reason. Fans are not just waiting for answers, they are waiting for connection. They want to hear Taehyung speak in his own rhythm, with his own language, sharing emotions that feel deeply personal yet universally relatable. Early reactions suggest that the full version will explore his thoughts even further, revealing reflections shaped by time, experience, and personal growth. Taehyung's way of expressing love also reflects his artistic identity. As a musician and performer, he has always used emotion as his foundation. Whether through music, photography, or conversation, he approaches creation as an act of feeling first and explaining later. In this interview, that same approach is evident. He does not define love with rigid terms. Instead, he lets it exist as something fluid, evolving, and deeply human. Many fans have shared that listening to Taehyung speak feels like listening to a close friend, someone who doesn't rush to give advice, but instead sits with you in your emotions. That emotional intimacy is what makes moments like this interview so powerful. It reminds people that behind the global star is someone who feels deeply, questions openly, and loves without holding back. As the release of the full interview approaches, anticipation continues to grow, not because of headlines or viral moments, but because of the promise of authenticity. Taehyung is offering a glimpse into his inner world, inviting others to reflect on their own understanding of love, honesty, and emotional courage. And in doing so, he once again proves that his influence extends far beyond entertainment. This interview is not just about Taehyung answering questions. It is about him choosing to be present, emotionally available, and real. It is about redefining strength as softness and success as staying true to oneself. In a time when many people struggle to express their feelings, Taehyung's words arrive like a quiet reassurance that loving fully, even when it's hard, is still something beautiful. Tomorrow, when the full version is finally released, it is likely to leave a lasting impression, not just on ARMY, but on anyone who listens with an open heart. Because what Taehyung shares is more than a personal reflection. It is a reminder that love, when given sincerely and without restraint, has the power to connect, heal, and inspire. That's the latest update from the K-pop world, especially about V of BTS and his heartfelt reflections on love. What do you think love means based on Taehyung's words this time? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more updates on K-pop and BTS. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. See you in the next one, and keep supporting your idols with all your heart. Bye-bye!